Nintendo, Illumination, Chris Pratt. I have one thing and one thing only to say about the Mario movie. It is utterly and complete, holistically, realistically, and every word that I can think of, a movie. I don't even know. Okay, so to start off, like, the first thing I want to say, it is a fun movie. It's not a bad movie. The critics were going way too harsh on it. The animation is stellar. How it makes the Mario world seem is amazing. The visual aspect of it was amazing. I didn't see it in IMAX or anything like that. Not that there is a real IMAX anywhere near where I live, but I saw it. It looked great. The music was good. The original score was good. We'll get more into that later. The animation was great. Some of the jokes were funny. Like, obviously they're kid jokes, but there wasn't a lot of like, I don't think there was like any fart or like puke humor. It wasn't stuff that you get with like normal Illumination films with the minions and stuff like that.
The 21 fart con salute.
The voice acting was like decent throughout most of it. A good review I saw said that like it was hard to not see Charlie Day and all these guys as their character.
Did you fuck my mom?
What do you mean?
Did you fuck my mom?
Mario.
But even still, like, Jack Black is Bowser, and I can tell it's Jack Black because it's him singing and stuff like that. But I enjoyed that aspect of it. Jack Black is easily the best part about this film. But even that, the other people do great in their roles. Like, it's nothing crazy when it comes to the voice actors. I don't really fully understand that complaint. I don't think I could stand an entire movie with "It's a me, the Mario" and stuff like that. Like, that entire Mario voice, while it is iconic, I don't think I could do a full scripted hour 20 movie or whatever it is of him being like that. So that whole complaint of why isn't it the original voice actor is dumb. I don't understand that. But the movie's not that bad. I don't understand the complaints for it being this awful film. It respects Mario and the franchise so much that even if you're a huge Mario fan, you should be glad. I mean, not glad, but you should appreciate it for that. There are a few things about the film that I understand critiquing. One of the big things for me that even I noticed, I mean, granted, I went to school for film, so I would hope that, the, $40,000 or something that I spent on it would help me detect this. I like the camera shots. I'm not a big fan of writing. I can't do that. I'm awful at it. Obviously, my dictation and the way I talk is pretty awful, as you're probably viewing right now. Also, don't want to forget about wearing the overalls. I don't own a red shirt, just a plain red shirt, so this is the closest that I got. But I understand the critique of the pacing. The movie's pacing is not that good. It feels very rushed. I understand it, though. So while I can complain about the pacing of the film, I fully understand why, or at least I think I understand why it's like that, because you have all these characters that you introduce and all these iconic locations for the fan service and stuff like that, because that's what this film is at the end of the day, is to get kids in there because it's Mario, but then to get people my age and older to go see because it's the Mario. It's who we grew up playing. I don't think anybody I know has not played a Mario game, so they want to give us as much of that nostalgia as possible. And even I can remember soy facing in a few of the Easter eggs right at the beginning of the scene. Star Fox, the Pikmin, the Mario Sunshine, just a little cleaner logo. I get that. It's the pacing of the film is not great. It's very rushed, but there's so many characters that you have to introduce that you just kind of gotta go with it. You gotta go with the flow. And while I would hate that in another film, I'm going and seeing the Mario movie, which is a kids movie. It's meant to be for all audiences. I get that, but when it is an all audience film, you have to keep the kids entertained, or else they're gonna ruin the movie going experience for the other people in the theater. And then other than that, I can understand a complaint. I thought, not complaint, but I think I kind of noticed was kind of funny in the sense of it being kind of out of place, was the whole disappointment angle with Mario and with Donkey Kong. It just felt a bit weird. I understand why it's there. It helps make Mario and Donkey Kong get together, DK and all of that, join together, but at the same time, it's like, it did feel a little bit out of place. And they would only pick and choose when they I guess it's kind of like a get out of jail free card of all right, well, We need a reason why these guys would like each other. Let's just pull this out. Like, let's just pull this out of the bag and use that. So I understand that complaint as well, but at the same time, again, it's a kids movie, and I'm not expecting some best story Oscar. I still am a bit amazed by the film, that I liked it as much as I did, and a lot of that, again, Jack Black. I like Jack Black. You know, Tenacious D, it was like getting to see Peaches. It was like seeing like Tenacious D. I got to see him in like person at Louder Than Life. It was awesome. Jack Black's awesome. I guess my appreciation for him only went up with this film. The biggest thing I want to get to, and I touched on it earlier, is the critics of the film. Like I was saying, they like to be antagonists. They like to often have views that are different than people would think. Everyone knew this movie was going to make money, even if it was terrible. Everybody knew that this movie was going to make a lot of money, and it's on set. It's the highest grossing movie of the year so far, and it's going to be the most highest grossing movie, animated movie of all time. I wouldn't be surprised if it passes $1 billion, which is insane for animated movies. Animated movies always bring in money, but this is going to be a whole different level. And the biggest thing is because its audience range is so massive. I think critics a lot of the time, and I mean, I'm sitting here critiquing the movie, I think critics a lot of the time want to feel like they're better than what they're reviewing. And they want to feel like they have more of a say by putting stuff down and saying that I'm above this. And to say that about the Mario movie of all things is kind of crazy. There are obviously critiques that you can make about the pacing and all of that, the storytelling and all of that. But I think as a critic, you also need to be able to take a step back and in your review be like, okay, here's all what's wrong with it, but I understand that to the vast majority of people, you're not really going to notice it. So I don't want it to come off, though, that I don't like critics, because I'm a film student, or ex-student. We're trying. Job, please, somebody. I'm trying to get a job now, but I enjoy the industry. I love the industry. I switched out of engineering, of all things, to join the industry. I truly do love it. And I don't want this to seem like I'm anti-critic. I'm not. Critics are the best things at helping a filmmaker or somebody improve their art. That sounded pretentious. That sounded so pretentious. But they're very important. So I am annoyed by the way that some critics were viewing this and treating it, but at the same time, I do think it's important for that job to be there. However, as a moviegoer, you should always go see a movie and formulate your own opinion. Always. Even if a critic's bad and all that. I understand wanting critics to like the movie because then it helps validate your opinions. But you should always go in and try to form your own opinion with it. It's always helpful and good to look at what critics say, but you always, in the end, need to go in and form your own opinions. Don't listen to the critics all the time. And I guess the last thing I want to say about the movie in general is, especially with how much money it's making, like, it is, I don't want to say a nostalgia grab to make money, but that was never a part of, not part of their idea when making the movie. The movie industry and all of that is about creating art. And it is fun to create these beautiful works of art that make people think about life differently and do all of this. The Mario movie is really not that deep of a film. And even though it's not that deep and it's bringing in a lot of money, it was made knowing that it could make a lot of money. You don't make a movie thinking that it's not going to make money. It's a business. It is a very profitable business. You can sink or swim in it, but it's a very profitable industry as, we all continue consuming media. You're consuming media right now by watching this video. You sit and watch television, all of this. The entire film and anything created visually, a lot of the time is for the profit and understanding of that. There's obviously the art. I enjoy talking to the camera and all of that, but it always comes down to some aspect of it is about the money. And some part of this movie is a lot about the movie. And I don't think critics or people should be like, oh, it was this thing of wanting to make money off of nostalgia grab and all of that. It was thought about, it definitely was brought up in a producer meeting talking about why they want to do the film. However, they're still a massive studio. No matter what you think of Illumination and Nintendo, they put forth so much effort to get this movie made. It is, as much as you want to talk crap on it and stuff like that, or praise it for the people making the movie and the people in the industry. They put together a great animated movie. It had great original soundtrack and all of that. The voice actors, say what you want, they didn't do a bad job. Jack Black, give him all the praises that he wants. Honestly, give it an Oscar nod. It would be so funny just to see him dressed up. You know he would dress up as Bowser. You know he would do that. And you know, the second they give him a piano, he'd do it right there on stage. It would be the most hilarious thing in the world. God, I love Jack Black. But just be happy the movie exists, just in general. We all got to go see a character that we all played when we were little and still play to this day on a massive screen. We got to see Easter eggs for some of our favorite and most nostalgic games. We just, as an audience, like, just be happy that we got this. Because, you know, you don't always make a good movie about a video game. I'm a Halo fan, and I won't touch that damn TV show. Last complaint, though? Stop using the licensed music all the time. That's my phone buzzing. That's the alarm to stop it. The Take On Me was stupid. I heard the original song they were going to play in that part. It was a whole lot better. I mean, a lot of it's nostalgia, admittedly, but, like, yeah, the Brooklyn one, I like the Beastie Boys, so I was kind of more okay with that, but still, like, come on, man. None of that shit. Goodbye. It's me, the Philip. It's me, the Philip.